Before we get started, I'd like to briefly explain my 7 energy point chakra spread. The cards on the left are the unconscious inner self. The card in the center is the heart. And the 3 cards on the right are the conscious foreself. The card on the bottom left is the base of your spine. It's a combination of many things, from past lives to tragic or cherished childhood memories up to the present. We're always culling and bringing new things into our lives and evolving. That's why I'm calling it sourcings and urgings instead of foundation. The second card up is your pelvic or sacrum. And this is awakening or arousing. This is where your spiritual awakening is, and growth of all kinds, and includes your sexual prowess. This can be a cosmic life breath. The cosmos has natural laws that live in harmony, but we don't always live in harmony with them. The top left-hand card is the solar plexus, or what I consider sensing and feeling. This is where you get those gut feelings about something when they're right or wrong. This is also a universal life force, contrary to a cosmic life breath. This is where chaos ensues in our lives. The center card is the heart of the matter, or the situation. We're always asking questions. Why did this happen, and what's going to happen next? The heart of the matter must connect with the unconscious and the conscious, so we can leave our shadow self in the dust. Another Jungian reality here. And maybe have more of an understanding of what's happening in our lives. The card on the bottom right is the throat, or what I consider communicating and teachings. It has to do with how we accept the rules of society and how we live our life. Are you living a conservative, orthodox life, or more of a new wave, do what you want kind of life? The second card up is the third eye, or seeing or envisioning. It's more of bringing things from a linear to a 3-dimensional perspective. The third eye is our pineal gland in the center of our brain that's activated by light. So this can also be considered enlightenment. The card on the top right is the crown, our knowing and understanding. You can have a lot of knowledge, but if you cannot apply this knowledge wisely, it's not wisdom. In the past, I used to pull a hidden Rider-Waite card as I was doing the readings, but for logistic reasons, I'm going to be pulling all of the cards at once, and then putting these clarification cards alongside each of the main cards as I'm telling the story of the reading. The subtitles will direct you through this so you don't lose track of what's going on and where I'm at and what card I'm reading. And then on the left, I'll be putting a past card, and on the right, I'll be putting a future card, and on with the readings. Hi there, Taurus. I think you noticed that I'll be preempting my Messages of the Angels card for a rune reading that's associated to my tarot reading. I like runes. I've had these runes forever. And I never thought I would be using them on a YouTube channel. They're a little bit small, so maybe I might get some bigger ones, because I do plan on doing more rune readings in the future. Now, while you're listening to my reading, think of a yes and no question for something you desire, because I'm playing a little game with an 8-ball, and we'll see what the answer is at the end of the reading. Now, I know things were pretty rough in April, are rough now and heading towards the end of April. But things are going to be better in May. The planets are in harmonious aspects to each other, and air and fire are commanding, and they're meshing well together. Air combusts fire. And from what I've been seeing is that everybody's been having some spectacular spreads. Up to this point, anyway. Before I get started on your reading, I want to mention that down at the bottom at the base of your spine, you receive the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune card. Now, I just got done doing the Pisces reading, and Pisces received the 6 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune at the base of their spine. Very similar energy. And then Scorpio and Aquarius received 2 6 cards, and both of them got the 9 of Cups. Now on top of that, Pisces received the 9 of Cups as the main card for the future. And here, if you look over to the right, your clarification card for the future is the 9 of Cups. Everybody has changed their attitude towards things and the way they look at it. I've seen the 6 of Cups, the memory card, the childhood memory card, come up right and left in the April and mid-April readings, and it was a very negative thing. People were walking around with so much emotional baggage that I was wondering if they needed a claim check when they left the house. But things are changing now. It appears to me that you've hit a reset button, but there's a few growing pains involved in this change. Nothing big, but a few. Let's take a look at your past cards before we look at the base of your spine cards, because I think the past is pertinent to what is happening in your present and future. You receive the Judgment and the 5 of Swords. Now the 5 of Swords is a pivot card. It's the one where there's arguments and disagreements going on, but it's escalated to the point that some people will just drop their swords and walked away because the cost of the battle is not worth it anymore. And then you went in to some type of judgment. Now you might be judging some people and people might be judging you. But the key to this card is about forgiveness or grace, which is unconditional forgiveness, something that we don't see often in this world. And once you can forgive yourself or other people for indiscretions, you go into a rebirth. You're the phoenix rising out of the ashes. And you're ready for a new life and new challenges. Now here on the right of the past cards at the base of your spine for sourcing and urgings, you receive the Fool. And it's saying, yeah, you're having a rebirth. There's a renewal. The Judgment card required you to do some spiritual purging and some cleansing on a celestial level. Normally this is where the dregs of emotions end up getting winnowed down to, but now here it's kind of like it's a real breezy feeling because the clarification card is the Wheel of Fortune. The Fool is going on a self-discovery and also discover the mysteries of life and the mysteries that surround the microcosms of your world. And here, the fates of fortune are giving you the green light. This is an auspicious time to start doing some positive things in your life. Jump through this window because ultimately the wheel will go on the downswing. The cyclic energy of life. Now up in your pelvic and sacrum for awakening and arousing, receive the Death card. What happened in your past bumped you into a transformation. The Death card shows up when he's direly needed. The veil between dimensions is thinning for you. And it's making you rethink what you're doing because the clarification card is the Hermit. You're going into some kind of self-imposed isolation to gain wisdom. You want to see things now with uncensored clarity, and you can't have all the distractions of the outer world. You're changing your unconscious inner self with the Death card. You're on a cosmic mission of desperately seeking you and what will make you happy. And where do you want to go in life? One thing that can never be taken away from you is the acquired wisdom from experience. In the Bible, they say wisdom is the reflection of eternal light, a spotless mirror of the workings of God. And it's the image of His goodness. Once the hermit comes down from his reflective mountain, he's required to share this knowledge and wisdom with the people he loves and cares about. Now up in your solar plexus for sensing and feeling, you receive the Chariot. He's about overcoming challenges and opposing forces. He has a military guise to remind you that he's about discipline and disciplining your willpower. And if you don't remember that, his appearance is reminding you that struggles and distractions, obstacles, uncertainties will never be overcome if you don't have self-control. And the clarification card is the Eight of Swords. Somewhere you're still feeling restrained. At any moment you can free yourself, but no, you choose to be in these restraints. But you're attempting to completely free yourself. You're the Fool, going on the new self-discovery journey. You have luck behind you with the Wheel of Fortune. You're in a transformation and using the wisdom of the Hermit. And you're moving forward with the Chariot. There's no reason for you to hang on to some of this old baggage that I discussed earlier. The Chariot is about motion. Now down in the heart of the matter, the main card is the Six of Wands. It's saying, yeah, whatever you've decided, it's been a victory for you. Normally the Six of Wands is saying that you had some kind of success for a contest or a competition, and you're doing your honor lap, and people are recognizing the accomplishments that you've done. And I think you're recognizing your accomplishments too, because the clarification card is the Star. The Star is about hope and healing. And the Star is also about finding out where you are, your position on Earth, your position with the celestial stars, which are constant and fixed. It's also about like a fog dissipating so you can see things with more clarity. And the Hermit does that also. So you're in this transition time. The reset button was hit, but you're still transitioning. And the Death card is saying that, yes. Now on the bottom right for your throat, for communicating and teachings, receive the Empress. She's about fertility and beauty. And the fertility brings new projects and new things. It's also about loving and nurturing, and I think she wants you to do that to yourself. Because the clarification card is the Knight of Cups, and he's offering a cup of emotions and love. He might be a little immature and a little rough around the edges, but yeah, it's something that you have to accept. Life is about acceptance and change. And if we didn't have love and hope, would it be worth living? And up in your third eye for seeing and envisioning, you receive the Seven of Cups. This is a card about difficult decisions. Each cup carries a prize or poison, and you have to start making decisions. But the clarification card is the High Priestess. She wants you to use your intuition. She's there for spiritual guidance. Because right now you're a neophyte. You're transforming. You have the Hermit and the Star card. Things are changing, and a lot of times when things change, it's hard to make the right decision. Just remember, the High Priestess is the translator of heavenly messages down to earth. So whatever's going to happen, it's being brought about by the Death card, because the Death card cannot change anything once it has a grip on you. It kind of has a mind of its own and moves along. But one thing you have to do is you have to be like the Hermit and be very quiet so you can hear the subtle messages coming from the High Priestess. Because up in your crown, for knowing and understanding, there's some problems there. You receive the Lover's card. Wow, that's great. You think, yeah, it is. The Lover's card is about decisions. It's about making a decision between vice and virtue. And you have the Seven of Cups under it, saying, yeah, it's time to make a decision. To really have to use your intuition while you're doing this. Intellect is fine. Reason, logic, always have to be there, but don't dispense with, don't dispel, and be distracted not to think that there's always cosmic messages coming to you. Now the clarification card is a rough road because you receive the Ten of Swords. This is about betrayal. You know, if you allow it, it can even go into some kind of personal bankruptcy. And this can all be related to the Five of Swords in your past where there was so much disagreement going on and the Judgment card required to step in. Now all 10 cards are indicating that there's a ending with a new beginning coming. And I pulled another clarification card to go with the Lovers and the Ten of Swords and received the Eight of Wands. And this is a card about sudden change. And there's going to be some sudden changes, and I think it has to do with the decisions that you're going to be making. Now, we talked about the past, so let's jump over to the future. And the future looks extremely bright. You receive the Three of Cups. This is a card about celebration. And also the Six of Wands, and the heart of the matter is a victory celebration card. So whatever you've decided and what you've moved forward with has found some kind of success. And there's no reason that it shouldn't have succeeded when you have the Wheel of Fortune card at the base of your spine. But what's even better is the clarification card for the future, the Nine of Cups, the Wish card, the card of luck.